Got him! Trevor McGill blows away Drake Baldwin in the...
What if I told you that everything you thought you knew about the MLB playoff picture is about to be turned upside down? The trade deadline has passed, the ink is dry, and now, the real dog days of August begin. This is where champions are forged and where dreams fall apart. Which teams are for real, and which are about to collapse? Hello, and welcome to Baseball Extrai, your home for deep dive baseball analysis. I'm your host, and today, we are embarking on an epic journey through all 6 MLB division races. Forget the quick recaps. We're going deep. We're going to break down every contender, every key player, and every crucial series left on the schedule. We're going to analyze the current playoff picture, and I'll give you my predictions on who will be standing tall come October. We'll also look at some incredible individual performances and some of the best baseball highlights from the past week that are shaping these races. This is a packed 40-minute special, so grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's talk some baseball. All right, let's kick things off in the National League, starting with what was supposed to be a three-headed monster, the NL East. At the start of the year, everyone circled the NL East. The Braves, the Phillies, the Mets. It was meant to be a season-long war. Well, the Atlanta Braves unfortunately stumbled out of the gate and never quite found that championship rhythm, which has been a major surprise this season. So, with all due respect to the Miami Marlins, who have shown incredible fight, this division has once again become a classic two-team slugfest between the Philadelphia Phillies and the New York Mets. These two rivals have been trading blows all year, swapping first place like a hot potato. But just recently, the Phillies have created a bit of breathing room. As we stand, they're up 2.5 games, and a big reason for that is the Mets hitting a rough patch on a 4-game skid. But if you think this is over, you haven't been watching this division. The key here is the schedule. They still have 7 head-to-head games remaining. Mark your calendars for the massive 4-game set at Citizens Bank Park starting on Labor Day. That series right there could very well decide the NL East champion. The Phillies have been powered by the Thunder and Kyle Schwarber's bat, who continues to be a home run machine. The question for the Mets is, can their star-studded lineup wake up in time to close that gap? Here at Baseball Extrai, we think this one is going down to the final week. Now, we move to the NL Central, and folks, I don't think anyone had this on their bingo card. The Milwaukee Brewers currently have the best record in all of baseball. Let that sink in. This isn't a fluke. This is sustained excellence. They are currently 4 games ahead of their bitter rivals, the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers just keep on winning, riding a 6-game win streak that has put the pressure squarely on Chicago. The Cubs, on paper, should be right there with them. They arguably have one of the most potent offenses in the game with guys like Pete Crow Armstrong, Seiya Suzuki, and Michael Busch. They have the firepower to score runs in bunches. They did manage to recover from a recent slump, but the problem is, it hasn't mattered because the Brewers simply refuse to lose. The Brewers' success is a testament to their pitching depth and their clutch hitting. Christian Yelich has had a resurgent year, providing veteran leadership and power. What Milwaukee is doing is a masterclass in consistency. For the Cubs to catch up, their offense needs to not just be good, but historically great down the stretch, and they need their pitching to hold a red-hot Brewers lineup at bay. It's a tall order. The key here is consistency, and right now, no one is more consistent than Milwaukee. And finally, for the National League, let's head out west to the powerhouse division, the NL West. For years, this has been the Los Angeles Dodgers world, and everyone else was just living in it. But the San Diego Padres are tired of paying rent. At the trade deadline, the Padres loaded up. They pushed all their chips to the middle of the table in yet another bold attempt to finally slate the Dodger juggernaut. And you know what? It might just be working. Right now, the Padres are breathing right down the Dodgers' necks, sitting only 2 games back. This is the closest this race has been this late in the season in a long, long time. The Dodgers are still, well, the Dodgers. They have incredible depth and a lineup that can beat you in a dozen different ways. But the Padres now have a bolstered roster that matches them nearly man for man. This isn't just a division race. It's a clash of philosophies, a battle of titans. The atmosphere in both Petco Park and Dodger Stadium for their remaining games will be absolutely electric. Every pitch, every at-bat will feel like a playoff moment. This is what makes the MLB division races so compelling. This is peak baseball drama, and it's going to be a photo finish. Now, let's flip over to the American League, and we'll start in the L East, which is, as always, a complete and total pressure cooker. It is truly stunning to see the turnaround for the Toronto Blue Jays. Think back to about a year ago. The conversation around this team was about a potential fire sale. Names like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette were swirling in trade rumors. Now, they are in first place, and their passionate fan base is starting to believe that this might finally be the year they've been waiting for. But in the Al East, you can never get comfortable. The Boston Red Sox have been the hottest team in baseball for over a month, surging up the standings and leaving other teams in their wake. One of those teams is the New York Yankees. The Bronx Bombers made moves at the deadline, but so far, those acquisitions have struggled to make a positive impact, and the team has been sliding. The Red Sox are currently 4 games behind the Blue Jays, with the Yankees trailing at 6.5 back. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been a force for Toronto, hitting clutch homers and leading this young team. But honestly, in this division, would you be shocked if any of these teams went on a 10-game winning streak? And don't you dare count out the Tampa Bay Rays. They always seem to have one more magical run left in them. This division is a 5-team gauntlet, but right now, it's Toronto's to lose. Moving on to the Al Central, we find the biggest division lead in all of baseball. The Detroit Tigers are sitting pretty, 6 games up on the Cleveland Guardians. But here's the interesting part. Detroit hasn't exactly been setting the world on fire. They actually have a losing record since June. So how are they leading by so much? This race is a story of one team doing just enough to stay ahead while the others have failed to seize the opportunity to catch up. Cleveland has been inconsistent, and the rest of the division has struggled to find any traction. So, while it's not the most glamorous of the MLB division races, it looks almost certain that we'll be seeing the Detroit Tigers representing the Al Central in October. They've built their lead, and now they just need to play 500 baseball the rest of the way to cruise to a division title. It might not be a nail-biter, but a division crown is a division crown. Let's wrap up our divisional tour in the Al West, where an empire is trying to hold off a rebellion. Since 2016, every single full season has ended with the Houston Astros winning the Al West. So, seeing them in first place shouldn't be a shock. But considering what they've been through this year, it's honestly incredible. They've been decimated by injuries to their pitching rotation. Their superstar slugger, Yordan Alvarez, hasn't played since early May. They no longer have Kyle Tucker or Alex Bregman. And yet, here they are. This is a testament to the Astros' organizational depth and their winning culture. However, their reign is under serious threat. The Seattle Mariners, who made some fantastic moves at the deadline by bringing in Eugenio Suarez and Josh Naylor, are hungry. They are right on Houston's heels, just a game and a half back. And let's not forget the Texas Rangers, who boast the best rotation era in baseball and are only 4.5 games back. The Mariners have the momentum, the Rangers have the pitching, and the Astros have the championship pedigree. This is a 3-way battle that will come down to who can handle the September pressure. The Mariners and their fans are desperate for a division title, and this is their best chance in 2 decades. Okay, so we've broken down all the races. Let's do a little thought experiment. If the season ended right this second, what would the playoff picture look like? In the National League, the Brewers and Dodgers, with the 2 best records, would get a coveted first-round bye. The wild card round would be a spectacle. You'd have the Mets traveling to play the Phillies, a divisional bloodbath right out of the gate. And you'd have the loaded San Diego Padres heading to the friendly confines to take on the Chicago Cubs. Both of those series would be must-see TV. In the American League, the Blue Jays and the Tigers would earn the byes. The wild card matchups would be just as juicy. You'd have the Yankees playing at the Astros, a modern playoff rivalry full of bad blood. And you'd see the Seattle Mariners flying across the country to play the red-hot Red Sox at Fenway Park. But of course, the season does not end today. There is so much baseball left to be played, and these matchups are going to change a dozen times before October. It's getting sweaty out there, folks. Now, while we talk about team races, we have to stop and appreciate a historic individual performance that is captivating the entire league. I'm talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates rookie phenom, Paul Skenes. My colleague over at MLB.com, Mike Petriello, wrote a piece arguing that for all the insane hype surrounding Paul Skenes, he might actually be underrated. And after his last start, it's hard to argue. Going into his start on Thursday, Skenes had a career ERA of 1.99 through his first 46 career starts. To put that in perspective, that is the best ERA anyone has posted in their first 46 starts in the entire live ball era. which began over 100 years ago. What we are witnessing is truly unprecedented. And what did he do on Thursday night? He went out and was even better. He tossed 6 shutout innings against the Reds, striking out 8. That means his already record-breaking era got even lower. Your official Paul Skeeny stats are mind-boggling. His season era is now 1.94. Over his last 15 starts, it's a minuscule 1.51. His career era is now 1.95. He is doing this with a combination of pure velocity, often touching 101 miles per hour, and a devastating secondary pitch often called a splinker, a hybrid split finger/sinker that just falls off the table. He is simply on another planet right now. He's an absolute must-watch every 5 days and a massive bright spot for the future of the Pirates. Some of these baseball highlights he's producing are just unreal. Of course, Paul Skeens wasn't the only story on Thursday. Let's quickly whip around the league. The Braves overcame a 6-2 deficit to beat the Marlins, thanks to a monster game from Drake Baldwin, who went 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Great news for Atlanta, as Chris Sale threw his first bullpen session since his injury and could be back soon. We had a walk-off in Seattle. Dominic Canzoni singled home Eugenio Suarez to give the Mariners a 4-3 win and a series sweep over the White Sox. A little bit of bad news there, as new acquisition Josh Naylor left with shoulder discomfort. The team says he's day-to-day, but Mariners fans will be holding their breath. And how about the Oakland A's? A couple of rookies shine bright. Jacob Lopez was brilliant, striking out 10 over 7 and 2/3 scoreless innings, and Colby Thomas launched his first career home run as the A's beat the Nationals 6-0. Now, looking ahead, you need to clear your schedule for a truly special matchup. We have a meeting of future Hall of Famers at Shoves Ravine. The Dodgers will send Clayton Kershaw to the mound, and the Blue Jays will counter with Max Scherzer. Let's just pause and appreciate the combined greatness here. Between these two legends, you have 6 Cy Young Awards, 4 World Series rings, 435 wins, and over 6,400 strikeouts. These are 2 of the greatest pitchers of our generation, 2 fierce competitors who know exactly what they're doing on the mound. This is the last stand of the Aces, a true gift for baseball fans. You won't want to miss it. And another piece of baseball history to watch for. On Saturday, Jen Paulwall is scheduled to become the first woman to ever umpire an MLB regular season game in the doubleheader between the Braves and Marlins. This is a monumental and long overdue moment for the sport. We wish Jen the best of luck on her historic debut. Hugh, that was a lot, but what an exciting time to be a baseball fan. The playoff picture is a beautiful, chaotic mess. The division races are heating up, and we are in for an incredible finish to the season. Everything is on the line from here on out. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today here on Baseball Extrai. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you love baseball as much as I do me a huge favor. Please hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel out. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one of our uploads. We'll be here tracking all these stories right through the end of the World Series. Thanks again for watching. Now get out there and enjoy some baseball. I'll see you in the next video.